AEW Fight Forever came out earlier this year. I believe it came out back in June. It's been a few months since this game was released, and it's pretty much dead in the water for now. I'm a huge fan of professional wrestling. Some of you probably know this already. And I was excited for Fight Forever. The game's direction was we're going to make more so of a Nintendo 64 style game because we all know the best wrestling games were on the Nintendo 64. You had WWF WrestleMania 2000, which was actually the first wrestling game I ever played. There was No Mercy, which I used to emulate a lot. Then you had WCW NWO World Tour, and then I believe you had Revenge. And those are great games. And then you had like virtual pro wrestling, like in Japan and stuff like that. Those are all great games, right? And they had a great gameplay engine, a little outdated now, but still just a very, very solid wrestling game. I like how you can control the entrances in this game. It's quite cool. Actually, I don't want this to be a championship match. I gotta go quit. Wasting time. Anyway, but Fight Forever, this game was cool for like a week. One of my favorite things to do when it comes to wrestling video games, one thing I liked doing in WWE 2K was just customizing stuff, the creation suite. That was always my favorite thing to do. And I love creating custom attires, custom wrestlers. I love downloading other people's custom wrestlers. It's always been the coolest thing about wrestling video games to me. And in this game, there are some, like for example, Thunder Rosa here. She does have, where is she? Right here. A few other attires, like this one, which just gives her a shirt that says like heels. This one is a gold attire, and then she has this gold attire. You have to meet certain requirements to unlock it, but I just have it for some reason. Because this game is still kind of bugged, like the win-loss records are bugged, stuff like that. But either way, this game was really cool for a few days because it was just something different. See, I have all these custom arenas too, kind of like updated. I tried to make that one look like NXT, this Ring of Honor one. These are just kind of more updated stuff. But I have the red, white, and blue roped Dynamite arena that I tried to create. They had that back in April of this year. I love red, white, and blue ropes. I love it. I love how it looks. I wished Dynamite would have kept that, but whatever. And I like how Collision has all red ropes. I think that's cool. But either way, I like how you can kind of control the pyros and the entrances, but the entrances are so short. It's cool at first, and then you're just like, yeah, okay, whatever. I feel like the biggest thing that holds this game back is not the gameplay. It's just the lack of match options. You have like a one-on-one, a tag team, triple threat. You have a fatal four-way. You have the casino battle royale, and then you have the ladder match. And that's about it. There is a career mode called Road to Elite. I think it should be called Road to the Elite, but whatever. And the career mode, it's really fun, maybe at first. And then it's just like it's just the same thing as always. Like the storylines don't really change, the rivalries don't change. It's just like, okay, cool, your first match, here's the triple threat for the AEW Championship. You're just like, wow, how'd that happen? But anyway, this game does still have some issues. Like any match with the referee, whether it's Rick Knox or Aubrey Edwards, it doesn't really matter. But the referee will have to physically run up and then, begin the pinfall count. Any match that doesn't have a referee, that still requires a count to be made, it just immediately begins counting. There isn't any leniency time where the referee has to physically run up and count. So on multi-man matches, it's significantly harder to kick out because the referee begins counting much, much faster. And also, referees will count double falls in this game. I don't know if it still happens because I know this game did receive like the Stadium Stampede update, which is just kind of like a Fortnite game mode. But the referees would count double falls, which you're not supposed to do in wrestling. But whatever, that happened. But the big thing about it, just outside of the issues, is just the custom stuff. I like creating custom wrestlers, custom attires, custom arenas, all that stuff. That's one of my favorite things to do. I love the community creation. I love the creation suite. And this game lacks a lot in the customization options. If you attempt to make any custom wrestler, they all just look kind of the same because you're so limited to the clothing options that you have, and even tattoo selections in this game. Now, granted, in 2K, the tattoo selection isn't great either, and typically the most downloaded images will be tattoos because people really like putting tattoos on their wrestlers and stuff like that. I get it, right? Tattoos are cool. But the creation suite was just really lacking, and that's half of my enjoyment of wrestling video games. The gameplay was fine. I get it. You know, they're trying to get that old WWF No Mercy, maybe WrestleMania 2000, World Tour Revenge, whatever it might be, wrestling game feel. I appreciate them doing that, like a more arcadey wrestling game. I think it's fun, but it gets tiring after a while. It's like being forced to play one-on-ones all the time. It's cool, but you gotta have some variety. Give me a table or something, you know. But like, give me a triple threat TLC tag match or something. Another thing I kind of miss from the N64 wrestling games would be like the background music. Now I know I love the background music in WWF WrestleMania 2000. That's the one I'm more nostalgic about, more so than No Mercy. I just miss those like riffs, like the guitar riffs in the background. It made the matches more exciting to hear that background music instead of just listening to the crowd, right? And of course, no commentary is a big deal in this game too. But then again, the old 64 wrestling games didn't have commentary either. It's like, what are you gonna do, right? But it just feels like this game is just missing a lot. And here's Shida getting the pinfall victory. But I think the win-loss records are still broken in this game. There's like a lot of issues with it still. But you know, for a first effort, it's not too bad, despite the fact that this game was developed by Ukes, who made all the AEW games previously. We're gonna do a men's match. I guess I'll do a ladder match next. Here's a ladder match. We have the explosive barbed wire death match, which is kind of cool, but the timer's too short. We'll do Cody Rhodes, and we'll do CM Punk, I guess. Two dudes that are no longer in AEW because one of them is in the WWE, one of them has a Royal Rumble victory as well as a WrestleMania main event, and the other is just doing something somewhere. May or may not show up at Survivor Series. I wouldn't count on. Let's do Ring of Honor. It's very funny looking at this roster. CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes in AEW. Whatever, right? Jade Cargill's in WWE now too. I don't think there's anything wrong with the gameplay of this game though. Like, I really don't. Like, it's fun to play. I thought it was kind of too hard to kick out of pinfalls. Like, I understand in the old Nintendo 64 wrestling games you had to sit there and like mash the buttons to kick out. But in Fight Forever, it feels as if there's really like no sort of a visual indicator of kicking out. Like, maybe controller rumble or something would be cool. I don't know. It just felt like it was too hard to kick out. And a lot of times, kind of like reversing or countering just kind of felt a little awkward too. This game did have like an easy counter system or whatever it was. But I thought the gameplay was fine. It's more arcadey, that's fine, that's cool. But it's just the big thing that holds this game back is the lack of match options and the lack of creation and all that stuff. I can't really, and maybe just a more decent career mode would be cooler. And it just, it feels like this is a fun game. It's overpriced, definitely. And I don't know. Maybe one day this game will receive a pretty substantial update that adds a lot of stuff and maybe fixes some stuff. I don't know if there's going to be another AEW game, if it's going to be bigger, more expansive, if it's going to be a more fleshed out version of this, or if they're going to just kind of update this game and add on to it. I don't know what their plans are. If they're going to have like what is Cody Rhodes doing? If they have like a more annual release like 2K does or what. The AI is kind of weird in this game too. Oh my god, Cody's setting up the ladder. What's he gonna do? Just taunt? Alright. Yeah, smart decisions by the AI here. But, you know, just I think the lack of match options is really what holds this game back. And this game was, when it first came out, was very cool for like a day or two. We all saw that new Legacy Inc. video with Lyco as Orange Cassidy and Statlander, and she was riding around on a skateboard, and it was really cool. And we were like, yeah, this game looks awesome. And then you play it, and you're just like, this is it, huh? This is Fight Forever. This is what we've been waiting for, almost forever. But I just think that this game is missing a lot of stuff, but it could be a great game. And I don't know if I'm going to be playing it again, even with the Stadium Stampede update, which is just like a Fortnite Battle Royale mode. I think that's kind of too little too late. I'm glad they're adding new stuff to the game. I'm glad that they are, and a lot of people seem to have a lot of fun with that. But at the same time, it's just like, is this really going to make this game better? Is this really going... What is CM Punk doing? Okay. CM Punk just... Oh my god, Cody Rhodes with a drop kick from the top of the ladder. But I think that this game will probably still have new stuff added to it. But the problem is, will people be interested in that? Will people say, oh, they've added new stuff, let me go play Fight Forever real quick? And the answer is, probably not. It looks like Cody's going to win. What is CM Punk doing? Anyway... That's Fight Forever. That's the way it is now. So...